everyone. Welcome to Backstage Pass. This is a CPCA Advising podcast. That is right, a podcast right here at Temple University. Although I am not right here, I usually am in my little studio. Today's a little different. I'm actually back where I grew up for winter break. By the time this episode airs, winter break will probably be pretty much halfway done, but that is where I am currently. So no studio today, but that's okay. We're still going to do this podcast the right way, and that's all that matters. I'd like to introduce my co-host, Sarah. Sarah, how you doing today?
I'm doing pretty well. How about you, Ben?
I'm hanging in there, getting through it and, taking everything one step at a time like always. Now, let me introduce you to today's guest. She is the final member of our CPCA advising team. She has been here at Temple for quite some time, and if I'm correct, it's been 30 years. How crazy is that? That is super
Actually,
awesome.
It's been 33 years, and it'll be 34 in February.
That's insane. We're going to have to talk about that, talk about all the experiences you've had. And she always comes into the Zoom meeting with a killer background and a smile. I love when she comes in with like the beach background because it makes me think of summer, and I love summer. We are so excited to introduce and have on to the show Margo Jackson. Margo, how are you doing today?
Ben, Sarah, I'm doing fantastic today. It's a good day. Like, it's just raining outside here in Philly, but it's still a good day inside. It's still, the end of the semester with everything been pushed back and a little bit kind of crazy because of COVID. It's still all good.
Still all good. Yeah, everyone's hanging in there. Everyone's doing their part to stay safe, and that's all that matters. And
everybody's doing the best they can.
Exactly. And I love that you said it's raining out because I always think whenever it's raining, it's the perfect day to grab a blanket, grab a cup of coffee, sit by the TV, sit by the fire, and just enjoy your day. Oh, it's the best. It's the best. We all know that. Yeah. So we're going to hit the ground running, and I'm going to first ask you, since you've been at CPCA, in the advising office in Temple and Philadelphia in general for many, many years, I'm sure you've had a lot of different experiences, and specifically with the CPCA advising office, I'm sure you've been to plenty of the events that have happened on Temple's campus. So I'm curious, what has been your favorite event?
My favorite event has always been like the holiday concerts since I've been in Boyer, but and then when they started the Rite of Swings a few years ago, the jazz department started the Rite of Swings. I love those. So again, it's just too many events, and I just love the students who are out here, performing and putting out their own music and everything. So like, I am a huge fan of Boyer College of Music and Dance faculty and students. So students tell me they have music. I'm like, send it to me. Let me listen. Like, it's just awesome.
Have you had a student send you music that you have continuously listened to, even after they showed you?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. Whenever students put out music or are, if they tell me, it's on CD Baby or iTunes, I'm downloading it, or even on Spotify, I download it immediately. SoundCloud, I listen to their music. Like, I love our students' music. Again, our program is classical and jazz, but our students are putting out an array of music that is unbelievable. Our alumni is out here doing some phenomenal things, working with phenomenal people. So again, Boyer College is just producing amazing talent consistently since, I've been in Boyer for almost 16 years now. So it's just an amazing array of talent and music and teachers and educators and everything. And I love the fact that Temple, Terrell even hires back some of his students after they completed their master's degrees. So it's been a real positive journey for me, So I've been around Temple for, like I said, almost 34 years come February, and it's just been phenomenal. Boyer College, moving over to Boyer College was one of the best moves I made.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's funny that you say that you enjoy listening to a lot of, students and faculty and alumni and like all the music that they write, because I've been fortunate enough to know other students that write their own music as well. And it's funny enough, we actually had one of our own CPCA advisors, Zuri, come onto the show, and we actually got the chance to listen to part of his album, and it's crazy what students can come up with, like, and how creative their minds are, and how different like the creativity like goes. It's so different, and it's super cool to listen to new music that they might be coming out with. So yeah, I 100% agree with you. It's super cool, and it's always really good. I've not heard one bad thing so far from any of the students or faculty here. Everyone's just so talented, and it makes me happy to be a part of Temple's fruition and their whole experience. It's super cool. I love it.
Super. It really is. I just love the amazing talent. I haven't heard all of Zuri's music yet, his album, but I can't wait to get it. And I'll probably have it probably at the end of the day because I'm gonna go look for it.
Yeah, it's yeah, good. It's pretty good.
I have I have I think 2 of his songs.
Oh, nice.
And they're in my iTunes, like, so I'll get the rest of it. It's, I have music from a lot of our alum and, the current students, again, of course, the faculty, the Grammy Award winning faculty, like imagine being a Grammy Award winning student. Like that is, or even not nominated for a Grammy Award. Like they get nominated just like every year, so it's amazing. It's really amazing. And then to go to the shows when we're back on campus and just viewing the live recordings on the YouTube channel, Boyer YouTube channel this semester, it's been phenomenal. Like, yeah, Tim Warfield's holiday concert was great. Like I said, I'm a huge fan, so I love live entertainment. I love the fact that living here in Philly and going to a lot of the venues that I go to, like I said, I love live performances. So when I go out and I'm at these venues and I'm seeing our students performing or I'm seeing our students in the audience, it is such an honor and a privilege. Like, again, to be amongst such amazing talent. And these are our future stars,
That's the best way to put it. They are the future stars, and we should be keeping an eye out and an ear out for them in the years to come, because they're going to be doing great things. With that said, I love to talk about Temple's campus itself and all the different places on Temple's campus where, people go to eat, people go to hang out. And one of the most popular places that Sarah and I have found is Saxby's. So I'm curious, have you been to Saxby's? Are you a regular Saxby's goer?
I'm not a regular Saxby's goer, no, but, because I'm not really a coffee drinker, but, like Temple campus has evolved so much from the time I was a student decades ago. And, my undergrad is in business from Temple and my master's degree is in counseling psych from Temple, so I've been at Temple like all my life, like all my adult life, so pretty much, so just to see how Temple evolves and how the campus has grown and the dorms have changed and all the new restaurants they've added and all the, again, you can eat internationally around campus at reasonable prices. Like the growth of the campus has been phenomenal. I mean, just to watch the construction of the library, to watch the construction of Alter Hall, the destruction of some buildings and the reconstruction of new buildings and the fields being moved and the sports complex being moved. Like, it's been a journey. It's been great.
So I guess that leads me to my next question. What has been the biggest change you've seen throughout all these years at Temple?
Just the growth of the campus. Like from Boyer College, when I first moved over to Boyer College, like they actually had offices in like built onto the extension trailer, and then they refaced it and then they built up Boyer and they brought Tyler down. And so down that whole Boyer-Tyler complex is that 7-8 years old? Like that whole reconstruction was wow, and then my office was in one place, and then they moved it over to the new place, and now I'm in Mitten Hall. Like, I'm so detached from students, whereas I was like right in the thick of things. I used to have a glass office at one point when I was in the Presser Hall building. So just that whole reconstruction there was kind of, interesting. It was, but again, they did everything they could. And the space is incredible. The new Wanger practice rooms up on that third floor. I mean, I remember when they were putting them in and everything. So, but like I said, the biggest thing I really miss is being in Presser Hall, where I could actually hear the students practicing. My office used to be right next door to the vocal studio. And I also had Jim Short's office. Like when I moved over there, I had Jim Short's office. And so I was right there on the hallway where the practice rooms were. And then after they reconfigured everything and they moved me to the glass offices right by the vocal studio, right behind the conference room. So I got to see everything and everyone, and, and now down over in Mitten Hall, I'm just so disconnected, but I still try and stay connected to my students, and then just to see how the student population has grown itself. Boyer, again, it's very much the conservatory within this university, and, it's the care and support that we try and give our students is really, what keeps me grounded and again, the talent is so amazing. So I can't help but love my job.
Yeah, exactly. And you should love your job. It's a great job, and you help a lot of students, and that's all you can ask for. All students go back to their dorm or their off-campus place, and they're happy with the decisions that have been made. And, it's great. It's honestly a really good feeling. And coming from someone that started peer advising this year, it's a great feeling to help students find their way to figure just life out at Temple is basically what it comes down to. It really does feel good to kind of point them into a direction that they could go. So I totally get where you're coming from. And since you used to have an office in Presser, I can imagine that's really neat to be able to hear all the music all the time while you're working. I feel like that's such a treat. Do you ever find yourself getting the time to go back to Presser just to walk around, hear musicians play, anything like that?
Not often enough. Mitten Hall, again, it's kind of isolating. It took me away from the students a little bit, but I'm still here for the students. I get to walk over, when I can, but I definitely go to the Rite of Swings and the holiday concerts and some of the major events that they have, and of course, live stream. The fact that we have the Boyer YouTube channel, I'm not missing too much, so I'm getting to see our students perform. So, yeah, and I definitely talk to our my students about what they're producing outside of the music realm, outside of what they're doing, with their lessons and things like that. And like I said, when I hear them performing locally, if I can get to a concert, I go. Or a show or a jazz set. It doesn't matter. If somebody's at a restaurant doing on piano, I try and go.
That's awesome. Yeah, and it's a good way to support for sure. If I know you've been an advisor for a while for Boyer, so I'm sure you've heard of a lot of different classes that Boyer students have to take and other classes like that. So I'm curious, is there a specific Boyer class that you've heard of from students that you've been like, this would be really neat to take and have ever wanted to take it?
For me personally, I've always wanted to take a voice lesson and a guitar lesson, but I can't carry a note to the trash can. So I can't, and I love to, pick up a guitar and try and play, but I haven't had the guts to learn, so if I could learn how to sing and learn how to play guitar, I would love to, and maybe that's something I'll do, but if time permits, but I'm too scared because I know how tone deaf I am.
Well, luckily, that's the beautiful thing about those classes. They help you train yourself to be a little more confident, which honestly, I could see you rocking your voice or rocking the guitar, and I bet you'd be awesome at it. It just takes a little push, that's all.
Thanks for the encouragement. I often ask Dr. Dilworth if I could join choir. He always said, yeah, I have a special section for you, So,
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, too good. And then actually, Sarah, I know you're not technically Boyer, so I'm curious. Do you have a favorite class that you would want to take for Boyer students that you have seen?
Oh goodness.
That's right. I'm turning the interview onto you now.
Probably voice lessons too. I almost took a voice class last semester, but then everything was online and I was like, I'm not about to do like jazz voice for non-majors in my basement. I'm not having my parents listen to me like fake scat. I can't.
Maybe I'll do that one. Because then
okay, if you sign up, I'll sign up. We'll do it together.
Let's do it for spring. Like Najwa used to be my teacher. Not my teacher, my student. So imagine her being my teacher.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, she was one of my advisees. Yeah. So
that's amazing.
Najwa was one of my advisees. Tim Bray, Marcel Bellinger. Like they were my advisees. Yeah. So and now they're back here teaching,
That's so crazy to think about. Wow. Oh, man. It just goes to show that, things change quickly. And, if you're once a student, you might be back here in the teaching position. And it's just crazy how that cycle works at Temple University, because I feel like that happens quite often, actually. A lot of the professors actually were students at Temple at some point. So,
yeah. Yeah. Again, get that advanced degree, that master's degree, and come back and reach back to the next people, the next generation like yourself. Again, because this is where you found a solid foundation and family, and why not? If the opportunity arises, come back and contribute again. Bring the talent. Like it's amazing. It's really amazing to have that connection to the university, and as an alumni of the university, to still be here after all these years. If someone had told me I would be here all these years, I would have been like, no, you're kidding, But again, God knew exactly where He wanted me to be placed and why. So that's why I'm here,
And there you go. And I'm sure it's been awesome here. Temple's great. How could you not love it, right?
How could you not love it? Yeah.
Exactly. So you've kind of already answered this, and I kind of want to hit it again just to get a little more in depth. But what is your favorite part about being an advisor? What's like the absolute best part about being an advisor for students?
The absolute best part is the students, bar none. The students. I mean, like I've worked with a variety of students. I was in Fox. I started out as a Fox advisor like 2 years after I graduated, and I was in Fox for 16 years. I was a Fox advisor for 16 years, and it was great. But I was also working with a lot of student athletes at the time. So then a position came available over there as an athletic advisor. So I went over there and I worked with the coaches, John Chaney, Dawn Staley, defensive coach Nikki. I worked with the sports teams, and that was great. And I was over there for 4 years, and then I got over to Boyer. And Boyer has been super fantastic. There's, again, the best kept secret, because I had only heard of Terrell Stafford a few times before I went over there. And then when I met him, and then when I started listening to the music, I was blown away. I was totally blown away. Like, again, this is a phenomenal faculty. Again, the students, oh my God, the talent is just bar none, amazing. It's an honor and a privilege to work amongst this talent. Really.
Well, a lot of the students, I'm sure, can say that they are very thankful for you and your work that you've done for them, because you have been nothing but helpful. And everything you've done has just helped students excel to the next level. So I'm sure they are saying the same exact thing about you. So
Totally.
Yeah, again, Temple has so much to offer academically and at the undergrad level. And if you decide to stay around for the master's level, stay or go somewhere else and, experience something different, but you'll probably come back, because it is such a good community of people who just are dedicated to their craft, and just wanted to see others excel. So again, that's what keeps me here and has kept me here, it's been good. Yeah, I can't complain.
Absolutely. And after being in Philly all these years, I'm sure Philadelphia like the back of your hand. Like, I'm sure it's basically second nature for you to know exactly where everything is. And after so many years of being here, I'm sure there are plenty of spots that are like your go-to spots. So I'm curious, is there a spot in Philadelphia that you ever like to just go hang out at, like maybe a park, maybe it's a restaurant that you really like, just any spot in Philadelphia that maybe students would want to go and explore?
Well, the favorite spot to go to, especially where you could see a lot of Boyer students hang out, used to be Ortlieb's down on Third Street off of Spring Garden. Ortlieb's used to be the hot spot, and I think one of our former students took over managing that spot. And I think at one point Terrell had almost tried to buy that spot. But yeah, that's a secret. Don't tell nobody. But he didn't. But then, so that was one of the favorite spots. South Jazz, right on Broad Street now. That's still like awesome food, awesome talent. And I've been zooming in to, see some of their live sets since the COVID. But I'd love to go there to eat a couple of times a year, to see their talent. A lot of, we used to have a jazz club here in West Philly, and Mike Boone was part of the band, and that was like every Tuesday night jazz set. And Temple students would come out and participate because Mike, again, being a teacher, he would encourage his students to come play there. And that was just great. I really wish we would do that again. If I could afford it, I would continue that jazz set here locally, because there's not enough venues around the city. But there are, venues down near Penn campus, and then there's some venues in Center City where our students go and hang out, and if I know they're playing, if I can get there, I'll be there. Another place up in the Northwest section, Mount Airy, Platinum Grill, brought a lot of our students there. In fact, one of our alumni, when they did the reopening of restaurants and things, and they were doing outdoor dining, he was there frequently, and his stuff was always on Facebook. He would always live stream his sets or post it afterwards. And, again, our students are just doing some phenomenal things. So I really want to see where our students are playing. I wish they would post more to Facebook, on the Boyer page, so we can see it. Like, again, show off your talent. Like, that's what I would encourage students to do. It's okay if you're a classical student. It's okay if you're a jazz student. But if you're doing anything that's different from that, show it off. Like, look, it's okay. Don't think that just because you're majoring in jazz or classical music, you have to stick to that genre. It's good to be that training in either genre is going to give you the longevity as a musician. And take advantage of it, take advantage of it. Take advantage of all that Temple has to offer and use it to your advantage. Music.
Yeah, I think that's like great advice because, I knew a lot of students who would, be training for jazz or classical, and that's like all they would do. But then I met actually a current friend of mine that I'm still very good friends with. I met him in high school who studied jazz for a drum set, but he ended up playing in a heavy metal band. and then he ended up playing like in a reggae band. Like he just did a bunch of different genres, and it opened him up to so many different opportunities. And he still is playing drums, and he's playing for Temple. He's playing for other bands. He's giving drum lessons. So it just opened him up to a lot more of a different variety, just a huge different scene of music. And I think that is, truthful to say that, if you open yourself up to a lot of different genres, there are more opportunities that will come your way.
Again, the opportunities are out here. And one thing that I'm really proud of is that a lot of our students are creating their own opportunities, in this environment. Like, again, this is where you really carve out your niche, musically, professionally, and don't be afraid to experiment, don't be afraid to step out on faith or again, put yourself out there, because you never know what's going to hit these days or where it's going to hit, because it's going to touch somebody somewhere, and you never know how it's going to take off. So again, who's going to see you, and one thing about musicians I love is because they have such a tight network. Like, so if I were a singer and I couldn't do a gig, I could pick up the phone and call like 10 singers. Hey, can you stand in for me? Or can you come with me? Because they're looking for other singers. Like, they're looking for backup singers. And I know a few of our students who have gotten major offers because they were just in the right place or connected to the right person at the right time. It's phenomenal. Or guitarists or drum, guys on drums, guys and girls on drums, or girls, like, it's just phenomenal. The talent here. Philadelphia has a wealth of talent. And another course I really would like to take is that Sounds of Philadelphia, that Boyer College of Music and Dance course. Because that Sounds of Philadelphia course, to learn the history of music around the city, the talent here in the city is amazing. And one thing I'm looking forward to when things open up is all the different venues who would give open mic sets, and go see, this is where our students would display some of their talent. Whether it's to a young audience or to an old, more mature audience. I started to say old audience, more mature audience. But again, just people getting out and sharing their talent and, moving life forward, one thing COVID has done is it's kind of taken people away from what's happening, and kind of isolated people from one another, and, just finding ways to reconnect is awesome. And YouTube and Zoom and Facebook Live and even TikTok, or even Twitter and LinkedIn. I mean, just to see our talent and our students really taking advantage of all these avenues to promote themselves is great, and I definitely encourage it. So, yeah.
For sure, yeah. Over the years, I'm sure you've heard a lot of different, students play a lot of different instruments. Has there been ever, I'm sure it's changing all the time, but has there ever been just one instrument that you've always loved? Like, no matter what, like, you will always love the instrument just because, of the sound and how it's played?
I don't know if you've seen, like, I have a picture of me. A friend of mine did a couple pictures of me holding his guitar, and he got over like 200,000 hits on that picture. Because here it is, people were asking me, do I play guitar? And I'm like, no. But it's a great picture. He like caught me, on a whim. He was like, here, let me just take your picture, hold my guitar, and it's a great picture. It's on his Facebook page somewhere, but he got a lot of hits off of that picture. So again, the guitar, I love the saxophone, and I would love to learn how to sing. If I could sing, I'm one of those people. I'm the best singer in my car or in my shower or in my home, wherever I go, whenever I'm by myself.
I'm right there with you. I am the best singer in the shower for sure.
Yeah, you know, but and if you hear me singing in the hall or around campus, just remind me I have a day job, because I know I can't sing. I know, just Margo, are you headed back to your? I love music that much. I can't work without it.
So. Oh, for sure. Yeah. Music is a necessity. It's not even something that's like, oh, I want to listen to music or I want to play. It's like a necessity for people. It can be a medication for people. It's a beautiful thing. It's very subjective, and it's just creative and inspiring. And there's so many things about it that I wish more people.
Therapy is real. Music therapy is real. I think had I been musically talented, creative, like in that venue, I would have been a music therapist. Because of the healing powers of music and the connections of bringing people together through music. Across languages, across cultures, it's just so fulfilling, But yeah, I would definitely have been a music therapist.
For sure, yeah. I've also pondered the idea of doing music therapy at some point, just to learn a little bit more. And it's funny enough, I actually just read an article and listened to a podcast that corresponded with the article about a former musician who he talked about, his days in playing music as a studio musician and a touring musician, and how he decided to change doing that to music therapy. And he actually got his PhD just for the fact that he knew that music was a powerful tool to heal people. And it's not just listening to music and then you feel better, but it actually goes way farther than that. There's a clinical connection to music and mental health and all that. So it really is a powerful tool.
Yeah, helping. I mean, working with the work I do outside of Temple, with people with mental health issues, I've been able to incorporate some music into that and helping them, really think about how music helps them stay focused, or helps them feel less depressed or whatever they may be going through. It just kind of gives them a different insight and different perspective on things. So, music has very healing potential. All genres of music, it doesn't matter. Again, just to help you think and see things differently, or just be a little bit more creative, to help you think outside the box, so to speak, and just exposure to things that you would never really kind of like consider, I mean, who listens to Spanish music when you can't understand, when your native language is English, and yet I find myself wanting to listen to like Spanish music in the language. Yeah, I don't understand it, but I feel it. I can make that connection. And there are some things that are just undeniable when you make a connection through music. You may not understand the language, but the emotion is there. That heartstring is pulled, and it's just phenomenal. Whether it's Spanish, whether it's Italian or French or Japanese, Korean music, it doesn't matter. Indian music, it doesn't matter. It's very helpful. It's very enlightening. And it just opens your mind up to new things, opens up different parts of your brain. And
for sure.
So again,
it's such a powerful tool. And that's why, we're all a part of music. And that's why the CPCA does what they do. And they help students excel into their musical journey, whether it is with music, theater, even film. Incorporating music in film is essential.
Yeah, so. I had a student last week, and not last week was the holiday, earlier this week, and he let me listen to a piece of music that to me, when I first heard the first couple chords, I was like, that should be either part of a video game or definitely part of a film because of the drama in it. Like, I was like blown away, you know. I was like thankful he shared that with me. So when students share their music with me, I like, wow, I you know, like I said, I am a fan. Like, I'm like a number one fan. So
For sure. Well, I think that just about does it with all of the questions that we've had. But before we actually end the episode, we do have a little game for you to play. So,
okay.
The game that we like to do here is called This or That Temple Edition. Basically, we will give you two things to pick between. You can explain if you want, but the thing is, you're timed. You only get 60 seconds to answer all of these questions. If you can answer all of them, you basically win. We don't really have a prize, but you win. And only 2 people have been able to do that, I think. Out of
then to be interviewed by you, I'm a winner. Because you are going to be a future newscaster, sportscaster, announcer, something somewhere. That's like, yo, your voice is amazing.
I appreciate that greatly. Thank you so much. All right. So I'm going to have Sarah. She's actually going to be giving you the this or that questions. And I'm actually going to be keeping a timer for 1 minute. I think we have about 10 to 12 of these. I'm not sure exactly, but something like that. So you got to be quick with the answers, and you got to make sure that if you want to explain it, you got to keep it to quick explanations. With that said, I have the timer ready. Are you both ready?
Ready.
Oh, yeah.
All right, here we go. Starting in 3, 2, 1, go.
Wawa or 7-Eleven?
7-Eleven.
Coffee or tea?
Tea.
Saxby's or Richie's?
Oh, when I started, Saxby's didn't even exist when I started at Temple, so I'm going with Richie's.
Netflix or Hulu?
Netflix.
Savory or sweet?
Sweet.
Electric or acoustic guitar?
Acoustic.
Ooh. Maxis or Philly style?
Philly style.
Center City or Fishtown?
Woo, that's a hard one. That's a hard one. I'm gonna go with Fishtown. Center City is too hard to get around and too expensive.
5 seconds.
The Student Center or a food truck?
Student Center.
Oh, and that's it.
But wait, I forgot about the crepe truck, so.
We will accept late answers. The crepe truck is very good. I haven't been there yet, but I've heard everyone say it's awesome, so I take their word for it.
You have not had a crepe yet.
I have
No, he has not.
And we've talked about it on the podcast, and I got railed for not being.
I'm going to treat you to one when we're back on campus, Ben.
All right, I'll keep your word.
Sarah, I got you both. Yes, you got to get one. Just one.
All right, good. I fully expect it. Well, that concludes today's episode. Margo, thank you so much for being on. We appreciate you greatly for being here and answering all of our questions. You've been nothing but a delight, so thank you so much.
I applaud you too. You two are good. Yes. I look forward to seeing you two in the future doing major things. You know, yeah, definitely at commencement, I'll be there, but you know, I'm talking 10 years from now. I'll be there. I'll be watching.
Thank you. Like always, I like to thank my co-host, Sarah. Without her, we would not be able to do this because she is the backbone to everything that we do. So, Sarah, thank you, as always.
Thank you, guys. This was so fun. Thanks for brightening my day.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Well, everyone, enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your week. Enjoy your month. Get through the rest of the semester. Get excited for the next semester, I really should be saying, because by the time this episode airs, we will be very close to spring semester starting. So get ready. It's coming at you quick. We're going to go into it strong, everyone. Cannot wait to see you in the spring semester. See you next Friday, and have a great day.